Hey guys, Quacker Spooks here with another set of NFL predictions. This time it's week 8 and um we're halfway through the season, guys. We've made it to halfway through the season with a few COVID outbreaks and, scrambling through the schedule, but I think if none of these teams have any players new players on the COVID list, then this schedule will be up to date. Last week, I recorded the predictions for the Seahawks and the Cardinals. They were supposed to play at 4:05 on Sunday, but the Buccaneers and later that day, I learned that the Buccaneers and the Raiders were scheduled to 4:05, and the Seahawks and Cardinals got moved to primetime football. And, it lasted a full 4 hours before, a team could win. So, what do you get? That game would have been up to like 8 if the schedule didn't change. The Seahawks and Cardinals game would have gone on till like 8 o'clock. And I'd have to watch the Buccaneers and Raiders on primetime right after. Probably miss the kickoff because, the game lasted 4 hours. So, that's probably the longest game I've ever seen in my entire life. Seriously. For a 4-hour game? Yeah, that's pretty long. But anyways, let's get into the Week 8 predictions. The Atlanta Falcons take on the Carolina Panthers tonight at 8 o'clock. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers because the Falcons are complete dumpster fire. Just because they have Raheem Morris doesn't mean they have a good offense or defense for that matter. And the Atlanta Falcons are pretty much dead at this point. They're 1-6. They're going to keep losing games. They're probably going to end up being 1-15. Maybe a few wins in there. I do have I have a list of the draft picks from this past year. So for the Falcons, I have 1-15. That's literally what I'm saying for the Falcons, 1-15. And the Panthers, I have 10-6. They actually might have a good record this year. Well, they are 4-3, right? Right? I do. This is every game. They're 3-4, but they're okay. I think I might have to scramble through my prediction. I'm gonna say 10-6 if they win a game that I think they're gonna lose. So, yeah, I'm gonna say the Panthers for this one. The Minnesota Vikings take on the Green Bay Packers once again. They did face off each other in week 1, and the Packers ended up winning. So, by de facto, I'm going to say that the Packers are going to defeat the Vikings by a ton of points, because the Vikings can't score. I kind of stopped myself from swearing there. But, yeah. Packers. All right, Tennessee Titans versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I think that the Tennessee Titans are going to pull off a win. They lost to the Steelers because, the Steelers were pretty much ahead the whole game. It's okay. It's just one loss. I have the Titans. I do have a AFC South predictions at 13-3. So, yeah. By the way, I have the Falcons for 1-15, the Panthers for 10-6. The Vikings will probably go 3-13 if I am much correct. If I am very correct on that, I am correct. The Packers are probably gonna go. What did I say? 12-4. They're actually gonna probably make the playoffs. The Titans 13-3, and the Bengals 5-10-1. That's a pretty low record for Joe Burrow. in regards to, that's a pretty low record. But, they're the Bengals, and what are we going to do? Their offensive line is gone. You have Joe Burrow, but who else do you have? Joe Mixon? You seriously still have Joe Mixon? You guys are so bad. Titans all the way, man. Speaking of terrible teams, the New York Jets, who are going 0-16 this year, and going to get Trevor Lawrence, face off the Kansas City Chiefs, who I have at 13-3. They're going to make the playoffs, guys. Pat Mahomes looks good. They're 5-2. No, wait, 6-1, right? 6-1 right now, and the Jets are 0-7. 0-7, Gaze. When you coach the Dolphins, that's how bad your team was. That's how bad of a head coach you are. Why didn't they fire you after 2019 when you were the 11th worst team? Because you got Mekhi Becton. I'm breaking down in laughter because the Jets are just so hilarious to laugh at. Why is Adam Gase still here? Why hasn't he been fired? Seriously, why hasn't Adam Gase been fired yet? The Falcons had the balls to, fire Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff. The Texans had the balls to fire Bill O'Brien after 7 seasons of mediocrity. Then again, Romeo Crennel's an okay coach. So is Raheem Morris. But what are the other coaches that need to be fired? Joe Judge? Adam Gase? Well, Joe Judge was just hired. Man, might as well just give him 1 season and then they'll fire him. Giants are 1-6. They're pretty mediocre, but yeah, they're not terrible. But wait, they are. Never mind. But the Jets are playing the Chiefs, and by default, the Chiefs are going to win because the Jets are terrible. And they haven't fired Adam Gase yet. What's going on? Maybe they should release a bunch of their core players. Oh, they just did. Le'Veon Bell. They released Le'Veon Bell because they couldn't find a trade partner for him. So he signed with the Chiefs, who hopefully he will do well at. Because, a lot of stuff has happened in the past 2 weeks. Tua's going to start. Antonio Brown signing with the Buccaneers. We don't need more chaos in Tampa. Seriously. We don't need more chaos in Tampa Bay. They already had the Mandalay shootings. Oh wait, that was Las Vegas. That should be the Raiders. We don't need more chaos in Las Vegas. We have the Raiders. I think the Raiders are on bye week, right? Oh wait, they already had their bye week. Never mind. They had their bye week in week 6. The Indianapolis Colts take on the Detroit Lions. I believe this is a cross-conference, cross-division game between an AFC South team and an NFC North team. The Colts, I have... Wait, did I say my record predictions for... Alright, the Colts, I have at... Where are the Colts anyway? 9-7. Not a bad record, but And the Lions, well, I have them at 8-8. They're going to win completely winnable games and lose completely losable games. That's pretty much what 8-8 is. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts, not because of my record prediction, but because I think the Colts are a much better team than the Lions. And the Lions aren't bad this year. They're pretty decent. But I think Colts are better, so I'm going to go with the Colts because they're better than the Lions by default. This one is going to be a very close game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens, another division rival game. Two of the best teams in the league. I believe the Steelers are going to pull off a win against the Ravens. And the Steelers, I have at 13-3, and the Ravens I have at 12-4. Probably this game is the maybe this game is why it's going to be 12-4, not the same record. The Los Angeles Rams, who upsetted the Bears on Monday, take on the Miami Dolphins, who are going to start their new quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. He is going to start for the Dolphins against the Rams on Sunday. Even though the Rams upsetted the Bears, and the Bears didn't play too hard or too good on Monday, I'm going to go with the Dolphins. The Rams, I have at 7-9. Not a bad record. But then again, I think I counted the loss to the Bears, so it's probably going to be 8-8, if anything. And the Dolphins I have at 9-7. I do have a lot of hope for the Dolphins because they have Tua. They got Tua. They don't need anybody else. They probably should just release Ryan Fitzpatrick and he can retire because he's like in his 30s now. And he's been playing since 2005, so I think it's time for him to leave the football world. I mean, he's a good quarterback, but he's kind of old. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is older, but, you know, it's just Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's not one of those elite quarterbacks. I don't think he's won a Super Bowl. Has he? I didn't look, but yeah, I'm going to go with the Dolphins on this one. Let's hope that my predictions are as good as last week's because, you know, that's probably the best week that I've had so far. Week 6, I was 7-14. So half of my predictions were right. The other 7 were completely wrong. I only got 3 wrong this time. 11-14. Anyways, let's get on to the next game. The New England Patriots face off the Buffalo Bills. I think the New England Patriots are bad. I hate the Patriots, honestly. Well, they're not bad in Jets terms. That's just complete dumpster fire, but this is like hot garbage bad. Cam Newton just kind of, you know, he doesn't click with the team, you know? I don't know why the Panthers released him. I think he was a good quarterback. They went to the Super Bowl and lost to Peyton Manning, who retired that same year. And Eli, I don't think any of the Mannings are playing football anymore, except for Arch Manning. He's in high school. I think the Mannings bloodline is pretty much football. Peyton played, retired. Eli played for the Giants and retired. Arch is in high school. I think Archie was a football player. Peyton and Eli's dad. Archie, I think he retired. I think he played. But I'm going to go with the Bills. Because last week they won. Week 7. Week 8 actually looks pretty good for the Bills. Because they're playing the dumpster. They're not the dumpster fire. The terrible team in the New England Patriots. Did they seriously only win? Did they seriously score 6 points in the whole game? I could probably think of something worse. Oh, that's right. The Dallas Cowboys. They can only score 3 points. They scored a field goal. That's it. Oh, God. 22-3 was the score against the Washington football team. I think they're on bye week this week. All right. So I'm going to go with the Bills on that one. The Las Vegas Raiders. I said it wrong last time. I said Oakland. I stopped myself from saying it. It's Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Raiders take on the Cleveland Browns. Still a conference game, but it's a cross-division game. AFC North versus AFC West. If I have to pick a team, I'd have to go with the Cleveland Browns because, they actually look good. And, by the way, I have the Patriots. The Ravens I have at 12-4. The Rams I have at 7-9. The Dolphins I have at 9-7. The Browns I have at 10-6. And the Raiders I have at 12-4. But, I think the Browns could pull off this win. This is one of the 4 losses, by the way, for the Raiders. The Browns for that one. Los Angeles Chargers take on the Denver Broncos. Hopefully, this game isn't a snow game like it was last week against the Chiefs because, Denver gets snow in October. We get snow in the beginning of November when, the temperatures start to drop like a gazillion degrees, and it just starts to snow all over the place. There was one time where it snowed on Thanksgiving night, and that was almost 6 years ago. So, yeah, we get snow in mid-November. Wait, this year it's probably going to be like November 13th or something. Hopefully, it's one of those Fridays in November, because that's like the recurring trend. Why am I talking about snow? Let's go on to the game. The Chargers face on the Broncos. I'm going to go with the Chargers on this one. The Chargers, I have 7-9, and the Broncos, I have 4-12, because, the Broncos are a complete disaster. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers. I think that's a division game. AFC West? Yeah. The New Orleans Saints take on the Chicago Bears. Conference game, but it's a cross-division game between the NFC South and the NFC North. The Bears didn't play so hot on Monday against the Rams, and they lost by 14. But fear not, they can come back and win against the Saints unless they're playing in Mercedes-Benz's Superdome. Otherwise, if you play in the Superdome, you're screwed. because the Saints get the home field advantage. Home field advantage doesn't matter this year because I think it's been proven that if you play in the Superdome, you're screwed. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bears on that one, just because they didn't play so hot on Monday. Doesn't mean they can come. Doesn't mean they can't come back and win the game against the Saints. They're probably gonna play at home because the Saints played the Panthers last week in the Superdome and they lost. So yeah, Bears. The San Francisco 49ers take on the Seattle Seahawks. The 49ers look better than they did in the beginning of the season, I guess, and the Seahawks didn't. Well, they played a good game against the Cardinals, but I think their offensive line was pretty much tired out because the game was so long. And yeah. The 49, I'm going to go with the Seahawks on that one. I think they can come back and win another game. They lost a game that I didn't even expect them to. But I have them at 14-2. That's probably going to turn into 13-3 pretty fast because of this one loss against the Cardinals. Anyways, and the Saints have a 9-7. The Bears have a 13-3. 49ers have a 9-7. This is a division game. What other teams did I not say? Chargers, I said 9-7, 7-9 or something, and the Broncos 2-14 because they're a complete dumpster fire. This one's a knee slapper, boys. How about them Cowboys? You guys are so pathetic. You lost to the Washington football team. You lost to the Washington football team. You guys are so pathetic. This one's a pretty obvious one. Eagles played a good game against the Giants. And the Cowgirls are done. They're dead. They've been dead since week 3 or something. They've been dead since Dak got injured. Andy Dalton's on concussion reserve or whatever, and I'm not sure who their quarterback is going to be this week. But all I can say is that the Eagles are going to get a massive win, and the Cowboys, by default, are going to score just one field goal. Just one. That's it. One field goal, and the Eagles are going to blow them away. At least they can score more than 10 points in a game. Oh wait, that was the Giants' problem in week 5 or something. Speaking of the Giants, Monday Night Football brings us to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I don't think they're going to use Antonio Brown this week, against the New York Giants. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they played a pretty darn good game against the Raiders. And, I think the Buccaneers have a ton of potential. The Cowboys, oh boy, what do I have them at? 6-10. That's actually accurate, though. And what do I have for the Giants? 3-13. The Buccaneers, I have like 12-4. I have for the Bucs. So in the Week 9 predictions, I'm going to do the other 4 teams that I haven't talked about, my record predictions. So I'm going to go with the Buccaneers on this one because the Giants, they won 1 game. As I said, they're going to go, what did I say, 3-13. And they're going to get a pretty high draft pick with that record. I'm not saying the Buccaneers are going to win the Super Bowl again. But, you know, that was done like 20 years ago, right? Something like that. So I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. We'll talk about Week 9 next week. We'll see you guys. I'll see you next Thursday when we do the Week 9. When we do the Week 9 predictions. Bye.